Hi everybody, welcome to those who are new to my channel, Medea Levine, Intuitive and Medium, and welcome back to those who've been hanging with me for a while. I appreciate it. I wanted to like first start off with a couple of shout outs, and I'll say it in a minute. October was crazy. I had a lot going on this October, as you might know, with people who do what I do. I went to Montana and did readings. I did seances. I did private parties, a private seance. It's been a lot. So I'm kind of. I know now we have to hit the holidays, but I'm kind of like, okay, got through that. Um, I wanted to say thanks for people who I've gotten messages from who have just joined and found my channel, said some really cool stuff. I so appreciate it. And those who just keep coming back, I just want to give a thank you and a shout out to all of you. Also, thank you to those who came down to my seance at the Wolves in the Alexandria Hotel, who watched me on here and listened to me on The Witch and the Medium with my co-host, Mystic Dylan. Thank you guys so much for the support. And I wanted to give a shout out to Angela. I want to get their names right, only first names only. But Angela and Robin, I'm hiding behind this because I'm going to show you, and Jenny gave me, of course, my favorite thing. No. I swear this is the last one I'll be subjecting you guys to, but they know I love these things, so they brought it to me. Sorry, I just shook the table, to the seance and as a gift, and it's so appreciated. And there was a couple people who watched me in here, I think 3 of them, that came to see me. So cool, so cool, guys, so cool. Anyway, okay, so I am gonna have to do a little editing on this video, which I'm not used to doing because I'm doing a video on traveling altars, at least my traveling altar, and I'm gonna have to kind of flip this around, pause it, and then show you how I did that. This is good for people who, if you want to take, if you're someone who kind of maybe doesn't want to have your altar out, this is my permanent altar behind me, and you just kind of want to keep it private and you want to take it out when you feel like taking it out and you don't necessarily have the space, or maybe you room with someone, or there's some reasons you just kind of want to keep it private. It also is good for someone who's like a reader, or goes around reading a lot, maybe, if you want. But I really use mine for my readings, and I also use them I use this one for when I'm reading outside the house, or I'm doing like a seance, or I'm doing a gallery, or when I'm traveling, which I do to do readings, I bring this with me. And so it's good for those type of things. If you have a space in your home and you can have an altar, it's probably not something you need. And you actually don't really need it if you're just like going on a trip or something, unless you want to, but I don't think it's necessary. This has definitely kind of been deemed my professional bag. Everything I do has come intuitively. Even getting an altar wasn't something I sought out. I was reading at a place, and I have this chair that actually, when you flip it, it's really cool. It turns into a ladder. It's wood. It's old school. And I brought this at this place I used to read at years ago, and I put all these different things, statues and incense and different things I wanted on there, because it radiated an energy I wanted to come at me while I was reading. And I had a witch walk by, because it was a witch store that I was reading in, and she said, "Oh, I love your altar." And I said, "Oh no, this is just my things that I've always put up." And believe me, I've been reading at that point I had been reading for many years, and I always did this. And she said, "Yeah, that's what an altar is." And I was like, "All right, that's an altar." And lo and behold, I just kind of started realizing that this giant thing I had at home at this other place I used to live, that I kept putting stuff on. I was like, this is definitely my altar. This is definitely an altar. So now I've embraced it quite well. But I just paused because it reminds me of getting to my traveling altar. I thought in my mind, okay, I'm going to be reading at a place where I share with other people, so I want to vacate the room and bring all my stuff nice and neat, keep it nice and neat and safe. And so I came up with this way. It was all on the whim. I didn't even plan it. Again, someone came into my room and said, "Oh, do you have a traveling altar?" And I was like, oh, yeah, I guess this is my traveling altar. So I'm going to show you guys how I did it, and maybe you can, create your own version if you need it to be, if it's something you're interested in. I have a feeling it's really good for people who are in a space that you're like, I just kind of want to be private, A, or B, people, in my space don't really like me to leave all this out, and I just want to be able to pull something out when I want to do workings or whatever, and things like this. For me, I use it for doing cleansings and when I do seances and things like this, like I said, and also when I do readings. I just like the energy. I like creating the vibe. Okay? So, with that said, I'm going to show you what I have inside this bag, what it looks like, and how I take it out and how I set it up. So, this is my case. I call it my black case. As you can see, it's a little worn here and here, mostly because I've used it to death, but it looks really cool when I'm carrying it. You lift it up this way. So it is made, and I'll show you that everything stays where it should be. So once you open it here, I have everything inside. Now, this is my sword, my dagger. I don't always carry this, but this has been packed for when I did my seance. In here, I have a pouch that has all of my crystals that I use, and I'm going to set this whole altar up so you'll see. So I'm going to lay that aside. This is my candle that I created. And I'm going to take this out. This is actually going to be relevant. And I have my Egyptian statues in here that I don't carry with me everywhere. So the dagger, this is Anubis, and the Egyptian statues are mostly because I did the seance and Sekhmet. The cool part is that this is all meant to lift right out, okay? And I'm going to put that to the side. I'm going to close this. I actually put the cloth right on top. And this, I keep all this tray, I keep always, everything in the tray, I keep always. The only thing I added for the seance was the statue. I put the tray right on top, and as you can see it makes like an instant altar. I move some things around. I have, this is sage, and this is lavender. I put those up. This is my incense Gloria that I have resin incense. I carry my coal with me, and I'm going to actually light it for you and show you so that you can see how the altar looks completely set up. I even carry a lighter, and I carry matches in case the lighter doesn't work. I even have in here, not for this. This is a the sound effect is more for the candle, and I even have a sword. So I'm going to show you the full setup. I'm going to put these things in the middle, so when I have the statue, I put the statue up like this. I move everything out of the way. In one corner, I put Anubis, Sekhmet. I can go ahead and light my candle. This is a candle I dressed myself. It's a skull candle. You should, of course, I have to light. This is kind of a crazy lighter. It's almost like too crazy. Third try. There we go. And it's a torch lighter. That's because of the coal. And then as the coal is burning, I put my crystals on the side here. I set up the crystals this way on the side. So if you were going somewhere, even when I'm going somewhere, they can be put up here. I can sometimes put them in the tray. I take this and I bury it underneath the cloth. I take the sword or dagger and I put it in front. Sometimes I put it in the, I can even do it this way or even on top of here. And let's see if the coal is burned. It's burning. If it's getting hot, it needs to be burned. So sometimes I do this because it's like a quicker way. This is coal that you can get at, this is like actually what they use for hookahs and things like that. I like to get the big ones. These are 10. You can get this resin incense Gloria, which is actually made of frankincense and myrrh and dragon's blood and other properties. I get this on Etsy at Soul Niche. Whoops, almost burned myself, not good. And I put these two here. I'm not big onto sage. I will use it when I'm doing house cleansing, but this is the setup of the altar. And as the coal's burning, you can put anything you want in your altar. You don't have to do it like a tray. Mine actually was an accident. I already had this case and I wanted to bring stuff with me all the time. I eyed this tray. This was all intuitive. And I said, does it go in? It did go in. Actually, the bottom of the tray used to be glass and then it broke. And I actually added this tin, which I would recommend anything you put carrying around, make sure it's not glass. Like this is plastic. Everything's plastic. You don't, these are probably glass, but they're really, really durable and not a big deal if you break something like that. But I haven't had any problems and I pack it all really tight. And so this is the portable altar. So as you can see, the coal is burning. I don't want to burn myself. I'm going to look and see. And I think it's almost ready for the incense. I just do a couple of drops of this incense. And you can pretty much in a matter, the reason why I like to do it this way, have something portable, make sure that whatever you're carrying, make sure it is very durable. If you're going to do incense this way, make sure it's tin, never glass, candles, never glass. And this is my portable altar. So guys, thank you so much. This was a little different video. I hope you enjoyed it. You can do one this size. You can do a portable altar much smaller. Like I said, if I take these guys down, then this is pretty much my altar all the time when I'm reading and such. Thank you so much. Don't forget to listen to The Witch and the Medium with me and my co-host Mystic Dylan on a podcast. This was his idea for me to show you guys because I was packing up one day after reading. He said you really should show people what you do. So I hope this helped. Also follow nobody, follow yourself, listen to your instincts, of course, and I'll see you guys soon.